Hello everybody, I'm Eternal Reading, and I thought I would maybe do this one a wee bit different. Maybe have me here, we'll see how it goes. I'll record this video, uh, see how it turns out. If I feel comfortable enough with it, I'll maybe put it up. Let me know in the comments if you'd rather me do videos like this, or get more personal, close with the novel and seeing the book up close, which I can still probably do. It's just weird seeing myself here, I'm trying not to look. But the book that I've read this week is, I don't know how I pronounce his second name 100%. I don't know if it's Abby or Ab or Abe, but it's Kobo Abe, The Woman in the Dunes, and there's a wee painting there for you, and artwork was by Takiguchi Shuzo, and if you type his name in and look up, you'll see some surreal art. It does a lot of landscapes, surreal art, and it's very strange, but it's very some of them you don't even know what you're looking at. But that's what I thought anyway. But this book, The Woman in the Dunes, was written by Kobo Abe, and it was first published in 1964, and it's translated in English by, if I can find it, E. Dale Saunders. So E. Dale Saunders, he done a brilliant job. It's a great translation. The way the words flow off the page, it's very good. It's some lovely passages in this novel. There's a lot of parts in this book that I actually marked out because it's just lovely passages, and we'll go more into the context of the actual story here first before we go into all that. But it was written well. He done a good job with the translation. And Kobo Abe, he was a writer that I think he took up writing fairly late on in his life. I think at the start he was scraping by in life. Wasn't big money, he was just working class, struggling. But he managed to find his knack for words and storytelling, literary work, and he done all right. He became a big name in Japan, and I think this is his most well known work. His other work that's would be quite famous would be the arc Sakura, The Face of Another, and The Boxman and Secret Rendezvous. He died in 1993. I'm getting that all there. See, so I don't remember it. Okay, that's there to help me. But we'll go into the context of the story. You've got this character, Nikki Junpei, or Junpai, or the way you pronounce it. He's a guy that hunts bugs, hunts wee creepy crawlies, collects them. He's a collector. Entomology, I think the name is. I could be wrong, but he's an entomologist, say, and he goes out and he's hunting for bugs, and he decides that he's got this idea about the sand, and he might be able to find himself a brand new insect, a brand new creature, and it's his goal in life, because then his name will be put in the book, the great big book of bug insects, and he could put his name there, and that was what he wants in his life. He's a teacher, I think, in his normal, everyday job, but his passion is bug collecting, and so he decides to go out into these sand dunes as a way near the coast. So he reckons that he will find life on these sand dunes and be able to find a brand new species. And he gets there all jolly good, and he's doing his bug collecting, and then he bumps into an old man. He's asking questions, what are you doing and what are you here for, and he's honest. He's an honest guy. He's telling him everything. I'm just here collecting bugs, mate. Dead on. And he's like, well, you here with the government? Nah. And this is where it gets a bit Kafkaesque. These guys are something not right about them, but he decides. They say to him, do you want to stay for the night? He's like, yeah, I've missed the train or the bus. So yeah, he's very gullible. Our character here, Nicky, or Nikai, very gullible guy. So he goes with them, and all he thinks is jolly good. These boys are not too bad after all. They bring him to a big hole in the sand dunes, a 60-foot pit with nothing but a little house at the bottom of it, and they tell him, go on down there and stay for the night. We'll get you tomorrow, and why? Only one way is this rope ladder, by the way. So only way you can get you in and out. My alarm bells have been ringing straight away. I would have done the old, what's that over there, mate? And fuck you, and just run like fuck, But he didn't. He quite happily decided to. I'm bouncing in. I'm gonna go and get my dinner and chill out, which was a big no-no. So we went down into this pit, and that's when disaster strikes. That's when our character is then going through a lot of turmoil from the whole novel. It goes through a lot. It's a shame, but he's not the only victim. There's a girl down there, the woman in the dunes, is what we call it, and there's a relationship with them too. It becomes it's very strange. It's not your normal woman guy meets girl love story. It's a bit different, and it goes down, and she accepts it. To her, this is normal. He doesn't like that. He thinks that's strange. He's how's this? This isn't normal. Let's get out. He's trying to get out, but she's accepting it, and she leads him on a few bits with lies, I think, but we'll not get into that. It's for you to figure out and find out yourself. But she's a lot more to her than you think. She's strange, but it's the only company he has. This girl that he is living with in the dunes. You can hear the wind here. I don't know if you'll pick that up in the car, but the wind's really blowy here tonight. Fucking ruin this video. But he meets up with her, and the relationship they have strange. It goes in a really deep way of thinking. It's all in his mind. There's a few times where the story jumps from the past and all, but it's mostly all set in his mind. And he has this there's a sexual tension throughout with this novel. There's a lot of description of its like sexual stuff. I'll say that as well. It's Japanese, by the way. They love it, so they do. For them, it's normal. There's much to talk about it, I think, but it's very. There is a sexual tension. Also, with this novel, you got a lot of. Probably should see that. Okay. Wee illustrations, which were nice. It's a nice touch. I don't know what you use, but I like a wee bit of. It's the kid in me still. You like pictures in your books, don't you? Well, I still do. Always a wee treat. You get a book with. Here's a mad one for you. Just chilling out in the sand. Starters. But he meets her. There's a sexual tension, and it gets very terror driven. This isn't a horror in a sense where you're going to be body horror, scared, don't know what's going to happen next. The whole book and the narrative is terror and anxiety. There's also a bit of hope, a bit of courage. He doesn't give up. He always still thinks he can get away, and he doesn't give up. I'll give him that. He's strong-willed there, or does he? Yeah, figure that out when you pick it up. But he doesn't lose hope. I like in that sense, and I'll read a wee passage here. This is like the sort of sexual tension I find. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you prefer me reading it out and seeing me, or me actually showing the book up close the way I've done in the last few videos, because I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. I'm still new. If people prefer seeing me and being more personal, I'll try and do that. I'll see how long I keep this video up this time. But I've recorded one with not my face, so I can always take it down and put that up. But here we go. The whole surface of her body was covered with a coat of fine sand, which hid the details and brought out the feminine lines. She seemed a statue gilded with sand. Suddenly, a viscid saliva rose from under his tongue, but he could not possibly swallow it. Were he to swallow the sand that had lodged between his lips and teeth would spread through his mouth. And that's another thing. The sand is the third character in this novel. This man can really describe sand. I don't think I've ever read anything like it. Things with form were empty when placed beside sand. There's a theme of emptiness and his life is empty. It's repetitive. He's nothing to live for. And they put him in this position of actually nothing to live for. I think he realises that there was more out there, and he didn't live his life to the full potential. He realised that he was his own. I know it's getting a bit deep. That's why I read it, but he was a bit more trapped in his own personal life and imagination, his own just repetitive day in day out same routines, and he realised that when he was put into this pit, where it was everyday, real, like everyday same routine. There was no change whatsoever. You were fucking digging holes, and that was it. You know, keeping the sand out your house. And he got really, you know, I think he realised that his life was better, or he could have done much more with his life when he was out, but he didn't. And now he's in a hole, and he can't get out. So I'm trying to go on here. There was a bit of hope at the start. Look, he says here, it was still too soon to be frightened. You know, that was at the start. At the end of it, he said, if it, you're not going to get the same character at the end of this novel than you already did at the start. You know, you're really gonna see a different guy at the end of it, and it's a sad thing too. You know, the guys that captured him, they're scumbags. You know, they are scumbags, and what they've done to them, him and this girl, it's terror. It's really dark. You know. Moreover, his words were absorbed by the sand and blown by the wind, and there was no way of knowing how far they reached. You know, the way this guy described sand, it's poetic. The only other poem I can remember which sand became like poetic was Shelley, but we'll maybe see that on Thursday, because this book reminded me of Shelley's poem, like time and sand and how things just fade away, but sand will stay. You know. Here's a bit here. What's this? This is a bit I think where he sees her, and this is the sexual tension again. You'll see the sort of poetic writing that he has. The sight of her naked back was indecent and animal-like. She looked as though she could be flipped over just by bringing up his hand up her crotch. No sooner had the thought crossed his mind that he caught his breath ashamed. He had the feeling it would not be long before he would see himself as an executioner, torturing the woman, standing over her sand-spattered buttocks. Yes, eventually it would happen, and in that moment he would lose his right to speak. So he knows that there's an animal sort of sexual driven thing with him, with this girl, and he's a bit afraid of it at the start, but well, not ruin it, but I'll just say it goes places. It does indeed. And I don't want to drag on with this novel, but I could talk about it for ages. It's that sort of novel. It's very strange. I love weird tales, but I love weird, strange horror stories that's got a deeper meaning to it. And this really did. And I wouldn't recommend reading the introduction. I don't read the introduction in my or books anymore. I've been let down too many times. But the introduction in this here novel is about 6-7 pages, and it was written by David Mitchell. There it is. And honestly, I would advise to skip it. Don't go near it, because I finished the book, went back and grazed over it, and I'm telling you now, if you want to go to this and these stories blind and get your own meanings out of it, which you should do with every novel, you shouldn't have somebody's influence you a wee bit, because then it changes the novel for you personally of what you get out of it, which everybody gets something different. So stay away from the introduction. You're not doing yourself any favours, in my opinion. I went back and read a wee bit of it when it was finished, just to see if it was spoiler, and it is a bit, and if you've been reading for so long, like, you know, you're either one of them guys that go into the introduction or you don't, and I stay fucking well clear of them. I've been let down too many times where it's ruined my reading, because it's putting ideas in my head that weren't even there even before I picked up the book, you know, or started the book. So I find stay away, and definitely David Mitchell. I don't know what you were doing there, mate. Like, I know he says a wee bit of the warning, like, don't read this, but still, should put it in the back of the fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it, but that's what they do. And yeah, stay well clear. That's a wee hint for you. But as I say, once the story goes on, it goes more terror driven. It goes more. He's more tortured in his mind. Is he losing his mind? But he still has hope, and that's the bit that I liked about it. You know, he still was fighting on to the end. And it kept you as a reader wanting to stay with him. You know, is he going to get out? How the fuck's he going to get out? And then you're in a reader and you're sitting there, what would I do there? You know? Well, I know one thing, like, personally me, like, as soon as I seen the whole, I would have been gone, as this is. I would have done the old, that, you thought that were there, and I'm like, fuck, you know, as this is earlier on in the video. You wouldn't have had me in that hole, I know that, but as I say, you're with him and you want him to really get out of it, because you do feel for him a bit. And the girl's a victim too. She becomes a victim by it with her own personality, because she accepts it a bit more. If the two of them would have kind of got together and maybe, I don't know, planned something, it could have went a different way. But that's not the way the story went. It wasn't the way he wanted to go. He wanted to go, I think, with the emptiness, the loneliness, the description of sand being just, like as I said in that passage, anything that's with sand is nothing, or it's empty. That was one of my lines that I read where it meant a lot to me. I could understand it was like a part of the theme of the whole story. Things with form were empty when placed beside sand, and his dreams, desperation, shame, concern with appearances, all were buried under the sand, and so he was completely unmoved when their hands touched his shoulders. If they had ordered him to, he would have dropped his trousers and defecated before their fairy eyes. The sky had grown lighter, and it looked as though the moon would soon rise. And he goes into degradation. It's a shame. And does he get out? Well, that is up to you to find out if you want to pick up The Woman in the Dunes. I recommend it. I think it's worth your time. It's not going to be a jolly one. It's going to be a dark one. If you're a female reader and you don't really like a lot of man sort of sexual driven desire that kind of makes you uncomfortable, might be one to miss it. It might not be one for a female reader that's really what's the way I'm trying to say this in a word that doesn't like offend or make it seem wrong, but say there's a woman that struggled with anything with men, like rape and all that. It's maybe one to stay away from, because there's a few scenes that's a bit strange, and that would be like a trigger warning, as they say. Every book's trigger warning and all. Words can't hurt you, but it might not be for them. They might put them off a wee bit, and it is there. So I'll just want to say that. Just know that it's there. There's a bit of dark sexual sort of writing in this. It's maybe not for the younger reader. Like, I wouldn't hand this to a 13, 14-year-old, I don't think. It's a bit weird, It's, well, you could, I suppose, but it's strange. Everybody's got their own ways and tastes and figuring it. But see if you're into weird tales, horror, just even poetic writing, like prose, his novel's worth picking up. It was a very good novel. It's my first book of the year of 2026, and I enjoyed it. It was very good. It took me a week. It took me long actually for the size of it. I should have had it a bit. I should have done it a bit quicker, but I was reading other things as you do, and yeah, I did enjoy it. If you ever see it on Amazon, cheap, £6 or whatever, in Waterstones or whatever bookshop you go to, and you see this here novel for and you want to try something that's going to be really dark and strange, out of your comfort zone, it's worth picking up, in my opinion. It's definitely worth it. It's I don't know if I'll reread it. Maybe in the future, a few years from now, maybe in another 10 years. I don't think it would be one of the novels I would pick up anytime soon. But yeah, it was definitely worth it. So look into it. Look up. Don't just take my word for it. No, you can look up other people, see what they think. Everybody's got their own opinions. Somebody could tell you a bit more about it and better than me, and straight away you'll say go buy it. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. I'm dragging on here, mumbling. I'm going over and over the same shit here. This is what I need to learn. But what was I going to say? I don't know what to read next. And I've fixed my shelf here. I know I'm dragging on here 20 minutes. I need to learn to cut these down a bit. But I've got this shelf and I rearranged it. And I didn't do it for this video. I just done it because I was watching videos on YouTube the other day, and people were talking about creating your library and making your a library where it's books you would want to read forever and have forever. And so I went through a lot of my novels, and I took a lot of my paperbacks that were I think I've read, or they've been sitting for years and I don't think I'm going to them anytime soon, and I've stored them all away. So I freed up this space. I have other bookshelves, but I've saved up a lot here, and I've got it so that all here's books that I've read, and down there, and these are books that have to be read, and a few that I've got read, not read all. I don't think I'll read them anytime soon. Like big novels like Shogun and 1,000-page novels, I don't find me picking them up anymore. So I've put them in the storage. Hopefully they're alright when I get them back out. But I've got all these to be read, and I've got the Odyssey I was thinking about, or I don't know if I'll jump into Michael Moorcock's new novel, Little By No Secret. I don't know what to read at the minute. I'm at that. This is what I called first world problems, where it's not a problem, but we may get one, and it's what do I read next? It's not a big deal, but it tortures us. It tortures me as a reader anyway. You're sitting there overthinking it, and then you don't know what the fucking read. It's like you're on Netflix and spend more time looking for something to watch. You don't even watch anything. That would be the way it is. First world problems. But I'll show if I can get it. We're learning here. We're learning. Stick with me. Hope you're still watching. 20 minutes in. But I'm kind of drawn to this. Might take me a week. We're sharing the camera now. Let me know in the comments. You know, if you watch this, I'm not going to start it tonight, so I might pick a book for tomorrow. But if you see this tonight and you get this far, let me know if you're interested in reading or me reading this and reviewing it. Say it's a book that you have on your TBR, or a book that you're thinking about buying. You're not 100% sure because it's not just Michael Moorcock here. You've got your guy Mark Hodder writing it with him. So I don't know. I never read anything from this guy. Michael Moorcock, brilliant. I've never read anything from Mark Hodder before, so it's kind of hit and miss there. But let me know in the comments if you want me to read it. I'll start it tomorrow. Probably not even get any comments anyway. But the other one that I was thinking about is the Iliad, but that's a big one. That's a big one. I'm telling you, first world problems, guys. We have them. They're not going anywhere. What do I read next? That's a hard one. But yeah, I'll try and keep this video up. If I put this video down and you've seen it and you go, where'd it go? Or it's not yous, it's me. I overthink it. And there's a part of me doesn't like, you go, fuck, I got my face on the big dark web, and oh no, they see me. What if people in my town see me and know me and they're shouting, Austin, what the, that's when it gets a bit scary. So it's me. If it comes down, it's not used as viewers and people that I trust. It's just on my head. I overthink things, and hopefully I'll keep it up. Hopefully I get more confident, more comfortable, and hopefully use as friends on the internet who love books and love talking about books can get. You let me know. Did you rather see me or did you rather see the novel? I don't know. I'm learning, so let me know in the comments. I might keep up. That's one I stay up, and then that could be it. It could be, we're flying then. But we'll see. We'll see. And I'm about here in like jammies, and I just put on this coat to make it look a bit more, proper. But we're not going anywhere the next 2 Monday. So we'll hit the end it there. 23 minutes, and I think half of that was about the book, and the other half was me talking shite. But sure, if you stuck by, thank you. And all the usual, like, subscribe and all that pish. It's up to you. I'm not here for subscriber counts. I'm not here for me to become anybody famous or fucking anything like that. I'm here just for my opinions to be logged on somewhere so that I can look back, and if I can get, as I said this in another video, if I can get one person to pick up a book and read it and enjoy it and think themselves, well, that was eternal reading, something I wouldn't have picked up before, that's worth it. That's what it's for. I'm here for the art form, here for the weird tales, and here for the literary, and I'm here for the poetry. And if you like all that, subscribe. But all the best, everybody. We'll try my best not to make it any more than 25 minutes in every video. If you like longer videos, let me know, but here we go. All the best. See, can't even pause it or stop it. And we don't edit out either, so you get all the flaws.